Hello everyone. Today I'm starting my seeds for my summer vegetable garden and I'm using this seed starter machine from LetPot. I've used LetPot to grow plants hydroponically, but this system is meant to grow seedlings that you will then transplant someplace else. For me, I'll be transplanting in my garden outside, but right now it's too cold to do that. It's April and it's in the 40s outside during the day, colder at night, so I can't really do much outside. So let's see what's in the box and then I'll set it up and start some seeds in it. Well, look at that, a real manual. I love when companies give you a printed manual rather than making you go online. This is nice, lots of information here about how to set up the seed starter, and then what the buttons and the display will tell you, and how to download and use the app. Although you really don't need to use the app, there's a manual mode if you don't like apps. Here you can see the other LetPot products. I have this one and used it to grow cherry tomatoes, and this one is great for herbs. Okay, so this is the base that everything is going to sit on, and it's also the heating pad, so it will keep the seedlings nice and warm. And they very thoughtfully printed some instructions on it, in case you lose the very thoughtful manual that came in the box. Very thoughtful, and I really mean that. So as far as the buttons go, this is the power button, so on and off. Once you turn this on, it's going to start counting your planting days, day 1, day 2, and so on. Next is the light button, and that has different intensity settings, but also if you long press it, you can reset the days back to 1. By the way, you can control that on the app as well. I'll show you that in a bit, but let's first finish setting this up. This is the heater. It has 3 settings, and then the Wi-Fi button to pair your smartphone with this machine. Here we have the light, and be careful when you plug it in. You shouldn't look directly into it. You can actually tilt it downward so you don't accidentally look into it. And here's the planting tray. It's got 40 cells, 5 down and 8 across, so you can start 40 seeds in here. Wow. And it feels nice and sturdy, so as long as you don't abuse it, you should be able to use this over and over again. And then this is the reservoir that will hold a lot of water, and the planting tray fits nicely into that. Then they give you a box with grow sponges. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Here is the plug. It's your typical plug. At least for the US it is. And then you have this bar to hold up the light above the plants, and you can see the hinge here where the light can be tilted. It's a very short bar, but that's fine for seedlings. You want the light closer to the seedlings so they don't get leggy. And then here we have the soil probe. This goes into the soil and you can get a reading on the nutrients in the soil. And here's the other end of my US plug. Okay, next is the humidity dome. And this is great to keep on at the very beginning when the seeds are trying to germinate. This will lock in the moisture, but I always remove the dome once they start to germinate to prevent mold from developing. This dome has ventilation holes on the sides that you can open or close. Just turn the ring and it does its thing, open and closed. I'll have to see how moist it gets under the dome. And now for the box of grow sponges. You can use soil or coconut coir, whatever works for you, but they provide you with a box of grow sponges to get you started. The only thing you need is seeds and water. The grow sponges look smaller than the cells, but that's because once you add water, they'll expand and fill up the hole. Okay, let's fill up all the cells with grow sponges. They're made from peat, I think, and there we go. All the grow sponges in all the holes. Okay, the next step is to put the bar onto the base. It just fits in, and then the light fits right on top. Easy peasy. Then the reservoir goes on the base. The seed tray goes on the reservoir, and the humidity dome tops it all off. Oh, and the EC meter gets plugged in over here in this USB port. I'm not sure I'm going to use it, at least not in the beginning, but it's good to plug in and leave it dangling for now so it doesn't get lost when I use it later on. So really, I need to fill this up with water and then plant some seeds. So let's get the dome and tray off and fill this up with some water. Make sure to fill it about halfway so there's enough water in there, but the instructions say not to fill it more than halfway. So I guess that's about right. There are no line markings for min or max, so just fill it about halfway, give or take a bit. Then put the seed tray with all the growing sponges onto the reservoir and slowly but surely they'll soak up the water from underneath, and then the grow sponges will expand and fill up the holes. And there we go. All the sponges are saturated and ready for planting. So I have 8 different seed packets, and there are 8 holes across and 5 down. So I'm going to plant 5 each of 8 different seeds, 2 flower packets of coleus and California poppy seeds, and then some sweet pepper, Roma tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, Tiny Tim, a personal favorite for my indoor hydroponics, and some cucumbers. These are the pickling variety and they're container friendly. And then some jalapeno peppers, also container friendly. These packets I've used in the past. They're not fresh, so I'm hoping they'll germinate okay. And with this system, I've got a better shot, especially with the heating pad that comes with it. I labeled each of these so I know what I planted, and now it's time to plant, so I drop 2 seeds in every hole. And these 2 back ones, I'm planting some early girl tomato. So it's still tomatoes, but a different variety. I'm not going to label that. I'm just going to have to remember, and I've got the video in case I don't. These seeds are pelleted, meaning they're coated with some clay-like material which helps to handle them more easily, which is great for smaller seeds. The poppy seeds should have been pelleted. Those are really hard to handle. So I dropped 2 seeds in each hole. The poppy and coleus got a little more than 2 seeds each because I'm using my fingers instead of a tweezer or some other tools. No matter. But if they all germinate, I'm going to have to thin them out. It's a good idea to plant more than 1 seed in each just in case one is a dud. Then hopefully the other will germinate. If you know your seeds are fresh and you don't want to waste them, let's say you know from past experience they have a high germination rate, then you can just drop 1 in each hole. Okay, so now I've got all my seeds planted, 2 in each hole. Now I'm going to give the tops a nice mist of water so they're wet from top to bottom. And on goes the humidity dome. And here are the controls for the power and the light. You can see the reading is 25 degrees Celsius, which is 77 degrees Fahrenheit. I wish it was in Fahrenheit. The tomatoes and peppers are going to be happy, but maybe I should crank up the heating pad and get them even happier. By the way, the panel shows day 1. There is no day 0, so it starts with 1, in case you're wondering. Okay, here we are, day 2, and let's have a look. And I put some dirt on some of the seed pods. I didn't like the open holes, and I couldn't figure out how to pinch them closed, so I took some dirt from a planter in a house and sprinkled it on top. It looks like the dirt has some compost or some other stuff in it, but it's okay as long as there are no fungus gnats. I'm fine. Just a little sprinkled on top to bury the seeds just a little, like when we plant them outside. And you can see not much is happening except for the cucumber seeds. They look like they're already sprouting, and it's only day 2. Nice. Now, before we get to day 3, let's talk about the app. I downloaded it on my Android, and it works on an Apple the same way. And once you set up an account and log in, then you press the Wi-Fi button on the machine so it can pair with your app. And at first, I didn't realize it was looking for my other LetPot planter, so I had to go back a screen and select the correct device, the seed starter. There it is. Now, default to that, press OK, and now the seed starter is online. And here you can see all the settings, and you can play around with the timing of the lights, etc. You can even reset the day counter or change it by adding or subtracting a day, whatever makes sense. You have all the control from the app. Back to the plants, it's day 3, and you can see the cucumbers have sprouted nicely. All of them sprouted, so I had to thin them out and leave just 1 in each cell. We don't want 2 plants growing in the same area and fighting with each other. I'm not going to take you through all the days, so let's fast forward to day 13. Not quite 2 weeks since I started this, and you can see a lot more going on here than day 3. The coleus and California poppies took a long time to germinate, and you can see the peppers are still not, except for one lonely one. And the cherry tomatoes are also not coming. I will give them more time, but one of the early girls in the back germinated. These were not fresh seed packets, so who knows. The cucumbers were the first to pop out, and they're doing amazingly well. And the jalapenos had a slow start, but are finally starting to catch up. And it looks like I'm going to have some nice tiny Tim tomato plants. That's one of my favorites, so I'm happy to see that. Let's take a look under the seedling tray, and you can see the only roots coming out, not surprisingly, are the cucumber plant roots. And I have to say, I like this seed starter kit except for one thing, and that is that adding water to the bottom tray is a real pain. I wish they had a built-in funnel system to pour the water in to replenish the reservoir. You have to lift the tray and pour, and don't try lifting the tray and pouring and holding a camera all at the same time. I hope you enjoyed this review of the LetPot seed starter. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.